Karl, who's this Fact Fiend focus for?
Oh, you know who it's for. So Brad, while you introduce the lovely folks at home to, like, you know, the basic idea behind today's Fact Fiend focus, I'm going to get us a beer. We're going to say, but not just any beer, a Corona. Because what better drink to drink when talking about Fast and Furious, but, like, you know, Vin Diesel's favourite fucking beer, apparently. So I'm going to open yours for you, mate. I put a dint in the ceiling. I was about to say, do you want to give me a random object to open mine? I don't think I can contain my power anymore, so I'm just going to open it with just the bottle of Fireball I had earlier, so. Oh, thank God.
So I believe what we're discussing today, we're having a retrospective of, as you've called it, the Fast and Furious cinematic universe.
Well, it is a cinematic universe because now we've got spin-off movies, and it's not just a cinematic universe, it is one of the most successful cinematic universes ever realised. And we just wanted to have a conversation about it today because it's baffling, hilarious, and just kind of awesome that this dumbass series about people driving cars is now one of the singular most successful media empires on earth. Because people don't know, like Fast and Furious, like the franchise, 8 movies, I believe. So we've got like Fast and Furious 1, Too Fast, Too Furious, The Fast and the Furious.
Furious Tokyo Drift.
Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, which is technically a spin-off and is only connected by a cameo appearance by Vin Diesel at the end. Fast 5, then you have the
Fast and Furious 6.
Fast and Furious 6, Furious 7, and The Fate of the Furious. Now we've got Hobbs and Shaw and 2 unannounced sequels to the original mainline series that have yet to come out or be titled. If people don't know this, if you go look at the list, which we did before, this is the only focus we've ever done prior research for, because you know what, for Paul, if you look up a list of the top grossing film franchises, Fast and Furious is number 10. And that might not sound impressive until you realise that, like, the ones it outclasses include James Bond and Jurassic Park. Not to mention as well that Fast and Furious is, as it stands, 8 movies so far. 8 movies. Like, obviously the top is the MCU with 23 movies, and then number 4 is Avengers on its own, which is quite funny to me. But I think the one thing that sums up how ridiculously successful the Fast and Furious franchise, the media empire, the cinematic universe is if you look at what film franchise is directly above it in terms of total gross, and that is the DC Extended Universe. And think about that for a moment, Brad. The DC Extended Universe contains 2 of the singular most valuable pieces of intellectual property on the planet fighting each other. And the Fast and Furious is about driving cars.
It does contain Vin Diesel.
It does as well, that's what I mean. It was originally a Vin Diesel vehicle.
Was it Dominic?
Literally.
Dominic Toretto.
Dominic fucking Toretto.
The most valuable media franchise of all.
And it is just below, and it's probably going to overtake the DC Extended Universe. Like, recent Fast and Furious movies have made more money than fucking Star Wars movies, and that thing has got 40 years of goodwill built up behind it.
I would fucking love it if Hobbs and Shaw came out and beat Endgame.
I thought you were going to say it'd be funny if Hobbs and Shaw beats the Star Wars movie, but I have no doubt in my mind that Fast and Furious will one day be more successful than the Star Wars movies. And let's just talk about this for a moment, because you think it's funny that I refer to Fast and Furious as a cinematic universe, but it absolutely is. Because in addition to having, like, you know, the mainline movies, there's obviously spin-offs, Hobbs and Shaw, Tokyo Drift. There are side movies that focus, I think Los Bandoleros is one, which is directed by the original guy. There is a TV show coming out. There is a female-led spin-off, like, in the works somewhere, that's going to come out. Like, this thing is a fucking cinematic universe. And what cracks me up the most is Fast and Furious did not start as a cinematic universe. But Brad, would you like to tell the audience at home what movies were supposed to be a cinematic universe so we can laugh at them?
Oh, good God. Let's go with The Mummy to start.
Yep, The Mummy was supposed to kickstart a cinematic universe. Fucking dead. Another one? So if you're struggling for ideas, I know a few. The Ghostbusters reboot in 2016. That was supposed to be a cinematic universe. Fucking dead. There's a Robin Hood cinematic universe in the works. That's never going anywhere. Fucking dead.
Well, they do a King Arthur one as well.
Yeah, King Arthur was supposed to be a cinematic universe. Fucking dead. The Power Rangers movie was supposed to be the start of a 7-movie cinematic universe. Dead. They're now rebooting it again.
Oh, God, no.
Yes, fucking dead. Fast and Furious cinematic universe alive. If you'll forgive the pun, Brad, just think for a moment about the properties that I've just mentioned that this stupid car movie has overtaken at the box office and launched a more successful cinematic universe than. And I think we've talked enough about how unexpectedly hilarious it is, how successful these movies are. Let's zero in on some of our favourite moments. So, Brad, what's yours?
It has to be the triple skyscraper jump. And the reason why, there's a very specific reason.
Okay.
It's because they wanted to set a scene in some tall buildings, but it's a film about cars.
Oh.
So they had to put a car in a tall building and find a stunt to do.
Yeah.
Because they have to look for some kind of cord, I think, and it's hidden on the car.
Yeah.
And they're like, why is this guy got a car in his penthouse suite? Oh, it's because he likes to collect things. Then I think Toretto's like, seems a damn shame to leave a car like this.
Yeah, you have Vin Diesel growling his growliest, trying to emote when he can, saying this is like keeping a caged animal or some shit like that. And then he has to have that scene where he's like, no, I'm as strong as The Rock, where he lifts up the entire car so Paul Walker can go underneath it and like get the code.
But I remember watching that thinking, you've put a car there so they can drive that car.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know what they're doing with it, but that car's there so they can drive it.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the lead up to that scene where Ronda Rousey can't act.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, that scene killed her entire fucking career. It's so bad because she can't act at all. And it culminated in her appearing. I know this is a tangent, but I need to mention it.
All right.
Her appearing in Mortal Kombat 11 as Sonya Blade. And the reason I'm mentioning it is because someone pointed out there is a scene in that game where her line reading is so bad, it sounds like Tommy Wiseau. I am not fucking kidding. It's Put the Cliff in Nisha. It's so good because it's so bad.
Cut this shit. You'll kill us whether we fight or not.
And I want you to now put in a her line delivery, followed by a clip of Tommy Wiseau from The Room. Any clip you want.
And give them the satisfaction of watching us fight? Like hell.
You are lying. I never hit you. You are tearing me apart, Lisa.
And also as well, for the fans watching, maybe it's vampire.
Oh, you're going to start that off again.
No, okay, it's fine. They'll complain about it in the comments, I'm sure. For my favourite scene, I'm going to go for the same movie, and it is where The Rock is in hospital, and he just says, Daddy's got to go to work, and flexes out of a fucking cast.
Daddy's got to go to work.
And the reason I love that scene is because you know, like that scene with Vin Diesel where he lifts up the car, The Rock insisted on it being put into the film to make himself look big and strong.
The reason I love, basically Furious, it's Fast 5 onwards.
Yes.
Because the naming convention's so dumb.
It's so funny though.
The reason I love Fast 5 onwards is because that was the point where you could tell that they went, let's not really care about whether it's realistic, let's just make it cool.
But at the same time, those films are more realistic in a sense than a lot of other blockbuster movies released, because almost all of the dumb stunts are realised with practical effects and minimal CGI. Such as in Fast and Furious 7, where they throw cars out the back of a fucking AC-130 and then do a power slide off the edge of a cliff as Paul Walker jumps off a bus. And we've talked about it before, but we have to mention it again, and that is the send-off to Paul Walker featured in that movie, because I contend that is the most poignant, emotional moment in a movie about people fighting in cars I have ever seen. I was more emotional watching that scene than I was at any point during Endgame.
We mentioned before when talking about that scene that there's so many elements in it which are just cheesy as fuck. And we said, if you took one of them, put it in a film, people would be like, oh, don't do that. Don't cram that cheesiness into my film.
Yeah, not to mention, the guy died, and this is, you're really going to give him this sense, a 1 second acknowledgement that he's fucking dead.
But that entire scene, the way it was sculpted, and the way the music comes in, and the
Basically,
different coloured cars, and it's just...
The entire final act is a goodbye to that character. We said it before, if they just done him on the beach with his wife and kids, and them going, this is where he's truly happy. If they just done the moment where he turns to the camera and smiles as the sun's setting behind him, that'd have been terrible. If they just done the moment where he pulls up and just goes one last ride, that'd have been cheesy. If they just done the moment where you see the white car going off into the distance as it fades away, that'd have been cheesy. But combined, oh no, Paul Walker, come back!
It's never goodbye.
I believe you have a picture of Paul.
We didn't mention, oh man, we were going to bring that today. I got, fun fact for the office, a picture of Paul Walker that I got off eBay that made me laugh so much when I'm having it.
Yeah, I brought that up expecting you to pull it out. Like, I thought you
Yeah,
brought
oh no, a picture of which will now be behind me. It's just Paul Walker just with angel wings.
I mean, we completely forgot to mention earlier the fact that the Fast and Furious franchise is one of the highest grossing, even though like the main actor, I mean, originally the main actor in it, died.
Yeah.
Like they recovered, I'd say, from
what for most films would be like, catastrophic. Just look at Star Wars: The Last Jedi for that one.
I think if they'd just carried on without that scene, I think we'd have all thought it was crass.
Yeah, because like you're still trying to make this movie.
But I think something about the way that scene was crafted, it makes you think like Vin Diesel probably really did care about Paul Walker.
Yeah, they were best friends in real life. Yeah.
There,
There's a quote from Vin Diesel, and this is so fucking stupid that it has to be true, because he did all the lines for Groot, and there's a interview with him where they jokingly ask him, "Oh, so how do you emote as a character who can say 3 lines?" And he sits down and he goes, really furrows his brow and he talks really serious. He goes, well, as you know, my friend Paul really died recently, so I channeled that sadness into my performance as Groot. If you think about it as well, there's now a tenuous link between the MCU and the Fast and Furious franchise because they share an actor. I've had a laugh just drinking beers and thinking about the fact there must be so many salty Hollywood executives, like the people who made Ghostbusters, who were planning for it to be this expansive media empire with 14 movies, and the actresses in it who were signing 5 movie deals, just watching Fast and Furious just sail ahead at the box office as they're like, oh fuck's sake, cancel that shit. Or there must be someone at DC who's pissed off that these stupid car movies make more money than Batman, which is fucking. You know what? That will never stop being funny to me.
Hey Karl.
What?
You still owe me a 10-second car.
So fucking shit. Go on, let's end it on what's the best quote.
Oh my, that's pretty much the only one I remember.
No, I think my favourite quote is "winning is winning," because recently, as recently as 2 days ago, Avengers overtook Avatar at the box office, and there's loads of people complaining that well, it only won because it had a re-release, even though Avatar had a re-release. It's only won by $1 million, and people keep posting just that gif of just Vin Diesel saying "winning is winning."
Have you seen Fate of the Furious? The intro scene for that is
It's the dumbest
so
thing.
dumb. When I was watching it, I was like, I'm definitely going to enjoy this film.
There is a
if
moment,
that's how you're starting.
There is a moment in that film where The Rock shrugs off getting a beanbag to the face. It's fucking great. There's a moment in that film where The Rock goes from being, a fairly buff dude to just he's fucking Hancock, and he is throwing men 20 feet through the air.
But to him and Jason Statham turned into superheroes in that scene in the prison.
We've mentioned before how Hobbs and Shaw was inspired by that scene because they wanted to test the chemistry of the actors and see how people reacted. There was supposed to be a shot in that movie where those 2 characters looked at each other and said, maybe we'll work together sometime, and Vin Diesel cut it out because he was sick of The Rock blocking his shine.
I have only just realised that the reason it's called Fate of the Furious is because F8 makes Fate.
And people say the naming convention of this series are dumb.
They are dumb though. It's so stupid.
But I think that adds to the charm.
Oh
Don't
my
you? Don't you
God.
think it adds to the charm that you can go and watch Too Fast, Too Furious? Don't you think that's fucking
But
baller?
it just isn't the Fast and the Furious the first one, but then Fast and Furious is the 4th one.
Yeah.
And then you've got Fast 5 and Furious 7.
Also-
but 6 is Fast and Furious 6.
Yeah.
They're just picking one of the words and putting the number at the
Also,
end.
have you ever seen the breakdown someone did? They watched every single movie and said, "Oh, this is the percentage of runtime where they're fast and the percentage of runtime where they're furious." And they break down how much of those movies is spent being fast and how much is spent being furious.
That's like the Honest Trailer guy did a breakdown of every stare in the Twilight trilogy. Every time they just stared without
Yeah.
dialogue, and it's 45 minutes long.
Oh man, we've got to go honest. I'm gonna get one more beer. Why not? The one that cracks me up about when they talk about Fast and Furious and they say, "Oh, it's a series that, despite becoming now an action franchise, it never forgot its commitment to booty." Because in every fucking movie, past the 5th one, they just have that scene where they go to a car race thing and just have just these egregious shots of just women's asses just gyrating at hypersonic speed. What time are we on for the camera, Brad?
It's 25 minutes in.
Oh, you know what, Nisha? This is going to be a long one. I'm sorry, because I forgot to mention. Who's your favourite character? No, not character, side character who was forgotten about in later movies. Because I have one, and it's the girl from the first and the second one who drives the pink anime car.
Oh god.
Because the bright pink fucking anime car that just goes over a ramp and just explodes because it's made of plastic and it's shit. It's so fucking good. Do you have one?
I don't even think I do.
Oh, yeah, favourite character then?
Brian O'Connor.
Brian O'Connor, fucking yes. So I just want to give for a moment mad props to the actors they have convinced to appear in these movies. Have you heard who's appearing in like some of the later ones?
Isn't John Cena in one?
John Cena's coming, yeah. So we've got The Rock versus John Cena, Idris Elba. In the last one we had Helen Mirren playing Jason Statham's mum.
Do we have Charlize Theron?
Charlize Theron, yeah.
Right,
We've got her in one. And you know what? It's only going to get bigger because the female-led spin-off's coming, and I can't wait for that female-led spin-off to do better than Ocean's 8. Because that movie sucked ass.
I can't wait for the MCU and I'm going to call it the Fast and Furiverse.
No. Oh, that's a good one. I like that. The Fast and Furiverse.
I can't wait for them to start fighting over famous actors.
So happy. I'm so happy that it exists because it is just pure dumb entertainment. And they never, try and sell it as high art. They just say it's what Michael Bay movies want to be.
Yeah.
It's dumb action that's fun. Unlike a Michael Bay movie, it's not like horribly fucking sexist because the women in those movies are portrayed as being exactly as capable as the men, if not more, as evidenced by the fact that Michelle Rodriguez fucks everybody's day up every time. Can we just talk about how bad an actor Vin Diesel is, though? Like they always, cause in every movie, we say they have like the booty scene. But in every movie, they have the scene where Vin Diesel tries to act and it just don't work.
They give him like a serious scene.
Yeah, where he tries to talk about family or some shit, and then you're just looking at your watch going, I really want to see Paul Walker fight Tony Jaa, thanks.
That you never turn your back on family. And I want to thank you all for never turning your back on me.
Vin Diesel, has he been in any roles that will be classed as serious?
Riddick.
That's not serious.
It is. Serious to him. Do you know the only reason he got the rights to Riddick for appearing in Tokyo Drift? Do you know that?
What,
the cameo he's got at the end, he said, I'll do the cameo if you sign over the rights to the Riddick franchise. Let's move away from that and talk about my favourite line he's ever delivered. And that is,
I Am Groot?
No, but do you remember what the big race that they go to is called?
You mean Race Wars?
Race Wars. And do you know why I find that great? Because you can go and watch those films with subtitles on and get subtitled Vin Diesel saying stuff like, we have to go to the race war. We can win the race war. Race Wars is life and family.
Race Wars.
I remember watching, because I forgot that it was called that. And I was just watching one of the movies on Netflix while doing some writing. And I was there, so I'm having a cup of tea. And I looked at the TV and it's come up, welcome to the race wars. What? Rewound it. It can't say that. Oh, I'm getting too animated. I'm sweating for Fast and Furious. I'm so excited. I'm sweating with air conditioning and a cold beer. God knows to the poor guy watching this in an office in a suit. You are a fucking legend and possibly a hero. Thank you for sitting through this 35-minute long video. I don't know how long it's going to be. I'm assuming 25 minutes.
We're at 30 now. I imagine Nisha can convince it to about 20.
I'm giving Nisha permission to make it as long as you want because you know what? The Fast and Furious franchise will never end and neither will this video.